Okay, hello all. Will just be me commentating today from my end. Okay, so here we have a Horn King versus Maleficent. In my opinion, these two have fairly similar ideas of covering their board with their cards and winning via such. So, Maleficent via curses and Horn King via his cauldron board. So we have Maleficent being faded with an early Prince Philip. Um, and it's kind of a forced one too. So I honestly think that's in favor of Maleficent because Prince Philip's one of the most annoying heroes to deal with. Both villains favoring that early fate. Horn King blocking Maleficent's top fate action. Since I am spectating, I can tell you a little bit about their hands. Um, so we have. Ooh. Lord King is actually keeping a condition in hand. We have Horn King kicking the. Ooh, yeah, that's a pretty good condition to keep around. Since you know they must play an item. We see a dragon form on the Prince Philip. We also see a hand revealer for Maleficent out. I forget. Let's see. What triggers tyranny? If another player has 3 or more allies. Well, in this case, well, I guess at some point they're gonna have 3 allies, but the horn. Well, I'm talking about Maleficent's tyranny, where it's triggered if your opponent has 3 more allies, which will really only happen later since Horn King doesn't have as many allies. He's until the Cauldron Born are out, which case he's really close to winning. Maleficent vanishing to stay on her third territory a little, or choose not to and go for a vanquish potentially. To be fair, I think I do favor Maleficent in terms of racing. Well, let's see. So far, each player has barely spent a minute and 30 seconds in the game, so it should be pretty decent. Um, Maleficent choosing to stay and discard most of her hand, which is, I think, pretty fair. Although it's kind of annoying still having to deal with the Flora. Ooh, we got a Fauna, which can get rid of a Dreamless Sleep, or a Prince, sorry, a King Hubbard, which allows him to move an ally to his location, but really he's just being used for the double block. Interesting. I don't know why they wouldn't have played Fauna in this case. She would have discarded the Dreamless Sleep from her location. Horn King trying to get to his key cards. I'm gonna. He's already got the black cauldron. Oh yeah, he's got the cauldron at this point. So at this point, he's just looking for the correct cards. Too bad we're not the French villainous that lets you play Cauldron Born as soon as they're in your hand if you have the cauldron activated. Maleficent kind of going for that fate every other turn strat, which I'm not opposed. That's pretty decent. Maleficent's, I think, biggest flaw is just having this switch between an aggressive and a development mode. Ooh, we have a sword or some guards. A sword won't do much at the moment, I'm afraid. Let's see, has he pulled any of the... Oh, so... Ooh. If Maleficent's trying to rush through things, I think it might not work out that well. Alright, so right now, I think Horn King's on a pretty good head here. In terms of towards his objective, he's a little behind, but in terms of... Wait, if he just plays one more... I don't think he realizes if he just plays one more curse now. Yeah... Yeah, actually, I think the Maleficent just blundered a little. Because if only... I'll have to ask about that after, because as of right now, the Horned King wouldn't have been able to fate their next turn. Which means if he got that fourth curse, there wouldn't have been a fate, and he would have just won. Yeah, honestly. And that's without, like, checking the fate deck or anything, because Maleficent literally could have just won. She had only... Oh, actually, maybe she couldn't. Yeah, she was short one power. That's what was it. Okay. If she had one more power, it would have been possible for her to win in one go. See, as the Maleficent now, I'd almost be tempted to Fate to block that upper Fate action for Horn King now, knowing that you could easily have the board covered in curses. We see um, good old Horn King has two more ancient soldiers ready to go. At this point, he just needs to be lucky and drawn to a Cauldron Born. We played an Aurora. Oh boy. Horn King might want to start going off to the races at this point. With two more ancient soldiers, the final two he needs actually, along with a Cauldron Born in hand. Oh, they're going one by one? Oh no. It's kind of tempting to have just gone to their first location, gotten that extra power to ensure you could handle it. Ooh, King Stefan. Yeah. Funny enough, I'm curious about Vanish real quick. Maleficent could choose not to move still. She used Vanish last turn, but she could definitely choose not to move if she still wants. Oh, and she chooses not to move from her new location. Did lose a green fire, but see, at this point, Maleficent's condition, Tyranny, would be triggered much more often, because the Horn King, his next turn, could have a third ally, Cauldronborn. It's a Fate of Tauren. Honestly, between Tauren and Henwin, I would have chosen Henwin. Henwin can't deny his Horn King his effects. Oh, favoring to move a Cauldronborn over to vanquish Tauren immediately. Ooh. Oh, wait. What just happened? He, like, drew a new hand. Yeah, Maleficent not finding this her Raven is a little surprising, but also true. Wacko's just checking if I'm common. Since it's very intriguing. Ooh, Horn King with two Cauldronborns at hands now is definitely, in terms of what the players know, Maleficent probably has no clue how close Horn King is. What's funny is I really think if Maleficent had that just one turn earlier, because at this point Maleficent would have to play two things in a turn. I'm surprised they still haven't gotten their in. It's surprising for sure. Ooh, yeah, that's game one. Horn King gets his thing. That was all just because Maleficent didn't have one power that little bit earlier. So intriguing. I'm gonna pause for a split. Okay, we're back. So, because of that, we have Maleficent deciding to go first, I'm pretty sure here. Which, oh no, it could be helpful for Hurricane to have that mulligan, but having an early staff. Oh, it's interesting. It's always debatable if you want those early vanishes. Okay, well, let's see. Or Merryweather. Merryweather is interesting. Just denial of curses in the present, but being used to block a fate action. Well, no, just limiting fate usefulness. Arguably, that staff, as cool as it is, it's not really useful right now, ironically. Because they only had one curse in hand. But vanishing might help the scenario. Oh, getting rid of a sinister union? Ooh, I don't know if I like that. Even the old Maleficent, her allies are helpful to get rid of the heroes, which are good at fading back. Early Creeper. Yeah, it's very intriguing. I'm gonna keep this going just in case, but okay, let's. Hey, Wacko. I don't know if my recorder will pick you up, but if you wanna record as well, and so we have video with me talking. Yeah, I don't have the video. I didn't have time to figure that out. Yep. So I have the audio from my voice recording program, and I get. We'll see. Regardless, at least it's there. That's true. Um, whatever you feel. Anyway, so I get the privilege of viewing their hands too. So, well, what's funny is there's one point in that first game where if Maleficent had just one more power, the Horn King couldn't fate Maleficent. So if he had just one more power, he would have been able to play one curse and would have won. Because the Horn King wouldn't have been able to fake because Horn King was on his third location and his other location was blocked. And right now his opening hand for Maleficent was, I think, a little suboptimal. It had two vanishes in it, and it had the staff and something else. Really? I, I was wondering what set. Was forgetting what set Horn King was in. Almost was surprised he wasn't the feature villain. Ooh. See? Sorry, I'm trying to remember what Happy Day does exactly. Oh. Yeah, usually you play the double fader. Yeah, I had to. The ancient soldiers in it. That will really put him back. And at least so far, Mull hasn't been really preferring those allies from his hand. These are actually the most allies he's played in the among the two games. Besides, yeah, he's definitely figuring that. Uh, yeah, smoothing it out. Yeah, I think he's realizing he's gonna be playing a card game for a bit, trying to get all those ancient soldiers back. Oh, two more. Okay, we got the yeah, smart playing him to his own location. Oh, and he has four. He technically is forcing the fate out of the other feller. Yeah. What's the humor, in my opinion, is in this case, it's a bit of chance here. But with how many, oh, there's no heroes on the board, so Dreamless Sleep. Aurora's already played. Oh! This is, okay, just to be fair, this is now the record of the quickest game. This game was barely 5 minutes. So it seems whoever gets the first turn is what it comes down to. Yep, I can. Yeah, you just gotta. So when you reset it, it also gives you the chance to more or less change it. But if you click enough through it, you guys literally were one off on the video. See, I would agree if there was no dragon form. The Raven actually hasn't come out either of the games, so this is the first game it actually came out. It's true. Wait, so there was two turns already? Oh boy, I blinked. Yeah, I blinked. I for some reason I thought he would really play that dragon form. Ooh, yeah. Let's see. Remind me if the power. Oh yeah. Oh. Handy if the cauldron's active, but that's not the case just yet. The new John, new Maleficent. Didn't the new Ursula go already? Yeah, well, Creeper of all the ones, um, he's actually the only one that doesn't get used in a Vanquish action. He's literally just sticks around. The only problem is most of the heroes are an even amount of power. So that makes him always need someone else. And most of your other allies already have the necessary strength requirements. For example, a Horn King's henchman, 3 strength. That gets rid of most of the heroes. In fact, it's only needed for, I think, one of them, where you need Creeper and the henchman. Well, in this case, actually, it would be necessary. Pig ain't a bad one. Especially since there's no point in using Henwin to find the cauldron now. Yeah, it denies the effects. To be fair, that means there might be double ups. But it is nice as Maleficent when you're faded and you know it's coming. Are all 3 swords in the discard pile now? No, 1 sword, 1 dream of sleep, and 2 guards. So that's all the guards. You know, I'm surprised the spinning wheel's not in that 4th location, knowing that the Horn King likes fading you there. But I guess he favors that move action more. Which is a Morva. Oh. Well, I wonder what he's doing with a no-hand turn. Well, he can't play a card. He can't vanquish anything. Yeah. You do have turn. Oh, that hand though. There's nothing that destroys items, like in the Horn King's Fate deck, right? That's true. But I guess he wanted that move action real bad. So we have the Fair Folk. A full faded board for Horn King. Honestly, I would have considered double stacking. Would you? Oh, that's 2 of the Dreamless Sleeps and 2 of the Swords. Granted, that means he's gonna have intense options the last few fates. Yeah, yeah, he's missing a curse. Yeah, honestly, at this point, he just needs money and it's money in the fate action to try to get another ancient soldier out, but he doesn't have the Cauldron Born to take advantage of the ancient soldiers. Kind of sucks when 3 of your hand is the necessary ancient soldiers and you have no Cauldron Born in the hand to take advantage of them. Because you know you really don't want to discard. Oh no, he is discarding them? Well, honestly, you need those. There you go. Now he has a Cauldron Born ready. Oh, and I think he realized if his fate wasn't good, that Maleficent could technically win. He almost wants to reactionary fate. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be Hades' first match, right? Yeah, I knew that was gonna come at some point. Yeah, or at least that stalls. Unfortunately, in Maleficent's shoes, I would not play another Force of Thorns, personally. It would force the Fate out, but it would also almost be a guaranteed successful Fate. Oh, that's right. Forgot that. Oh, yes. I think it. Well, I'll talk more when I'm over there. Well, hello, y'all. So, I do too. So, who. I blinked a little too fast. I have to admit, I blinked a little too fast that first game. Who went first that first game? Okay. And just checking, the third game, it was Horn King who went first, right? Okay, thank you. What's funny is this match could be considered a comeback train, cause Horn. And then another fun fact: your second game was on record the shortest game in our battle royale so far. 5 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes. Yeah, it seems like it's. Yeah, Maleficent's either really good at Russian or really focused on the attack. That was the only game Raven came out too. That the first game I was like, I'm pretty sure Maleficent's Raven's at the bottom of her deck at this point. Yeah, and I was realizing once Horn King's board was covered, a lot of his locations don't really help him to a point anymore. Yeah, that's true. What's interesting to me, what I was gonna say, what's interesting to me is of the besides of course Maleficent and New Maleficent, I'd say the next most similar to Maleficent is Horn King in the sense they are trying more or less to put a curse, or in a Horn King's case, a cauldron born at each location, and they both symbolize resistance to fates. Cauldron born not being discarded in a vanquish action, for example, and being 6 strength, which is high enough to beat most heroes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you'd pick the guards. Total of 25 minutes. An episode of Star Wars: The Clone Wars.